Is it possible to make $1 million a year? And now,
it's what I'm meant to do, but I'm failing at it.
Is 7 figures possible in a year?
And you've got to work on all those 3 things. And what?
How would you define profit in a business?
So that is something that I finally understand. It's real. I've had my business 12 years, and I was a financial professional. I gave people advice on investments, and I didn't know what profit was until just the last few years. It's crazy because I would charge enough money for my services so that it would cover my costs, and myself being one of those costs. I knew that I had to survive. I had certain bills. I had my own house payment to pay, and I had to pay my team in the Philippines. I knew what my sophomore cost. So if I could charge that amount, then I've got a profitable business.
You're breaking even.
Yeah, just breaking even. And no wonder it was so stressful. But finally, when I had a track record, I quadrupled my pricing. And then I actually experienced what profit was before I understood what it was.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
That is crazy. I mean, that's a real gap in our educational system somewhere, especially at World Geographic money printers or whatever you were.
Exactly.
World Financial, what was it called?
World Financial Group. WFG.
Are they still around?
Yes, but they go under different names.
Oh, is
like
that
there's
shell game?
There's Peterson Financial Group, or there's Pinnacle Success,
I've heard of it.
whatever.
Oh, Success Strategies.
I'm just making it up. I don't know if that's really one of them. But.
What is your favorite movie?
Moana.
Moana?
Yeah, the Hawaiian Disney princess.
I always call it Mona.
It's Moana.
I know it's Moana. Wasn't The Rock in that?
Yes.
Yeah. Why is that your favorite movie?
Because it tells my story. It's a story of entrepreneurship. All right, I'm going to get emotional because it really is. So
it is?
You've got this girl, Moana. She's the heir to the throne of their island. She's got responsibility, but she's got this drive in her heart. She's got this purpose, this passion that calls her out to the sea. And she's like, I want to serve my people. I'm here. I'm not abandoning my people, but I've got to go out to the sea. There's this. The ocean is calling me, and I'll now relate it to me a little bit. I've had this purpose to be an entrepreneur. Yeah. Like, it's what I'm meant to do.
Yeah.
But I'm failing at it. I'm succeeding. I go to my mom and I say, Mom, can I borrow some money? And she says, Nate, why don't you get a job? It's because there's this burning inside. I've got to do it. I'm not abandoning my family or anything. And so Moana goes out to the sea. She ends up getting that Heartstone thing and saves the island, right? And it ended up being the best for her people. And that's I feel like I resonate so much that entrepreneurs have this fire burning inside, or purpose-driven people, I should say, just have this. There's just something inside that's burning. That's like, I've got to go and do it. And so, when I watch that movie, it speaks to me.
Yeah. That makes sense. It's an endearing, good film. I don't identify with any of the characters.
haven't heard that answer before.
No. How many times have you seen it?
It's funny. My kids will say, "Hey, Dad, you want to watch Moana?" Because they know I love that movie.
And they want to see you.
I've seen it. I've seen it dozens of times. Yeah.
Gosh, I'll have to check that one out again. I would have said like Looking for Mr. Goodbar, or
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Rocky. That's probably yours.
That was a joke. You don't want to.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Next. So a series of questions, rapid fire questions. Well, they're not really rapid fire, but they're questions nonetheless. Is it possible to make $1 million a year? And now, that question, by the way, I could answer. Yes, of course it is. Not from personal experience, but from just knowing people that do that. But obviously we're asking this for John and Jane Doe, right? Is it possible to do that, and if so, how? There's
ways that are really, really hard, and then there's ways that are a lot easier. So
yeah, well, that clears that up.
If you and I went to the Dollar Tree, and we got, items for $1 a piece. Let's say there's no tax, and we sold it for double. We sold it for $2. We would just have to do that 500,000 times.
Right, I was going to say, yeah.
If we bought 500, and whatever, so I could have $1 million business.
That feels like the hard way.
That does.
Yeah.
It feels really like the hard way. Okay, or what if I create a service that delivers such high value that somebody would want to pay $100,000 for that service.
Yeah.
I've only got to sell 10 of those. That's $1 million business. That's why real estate is such an appealing option, because in real estate, you can buy a property and you can make a monthly amount, but then you turn around and sell that property and you can make $100,000 in one transaction. $100,000, that's a higher amount, but even let's say you make $30,000 in one transaction, you can do that again and again and again, versus like going to the dollar store, buying a product for $1 and selling it for $2. You've got to do it 500,000 times. The more leverage you have, or the more value that's built into it, or in the case of something like real estate, it's a higher commodity. I mean, a car salesman or something like that. I'm not encouraging you to be a car salesman.
I was a car salesman.
Really?
Yes.
And what was the average profit on a car?
Average profit on a new car?
You sell a car, what's the amount of profit you average?
For the dealership, it would probably have been, well, this is since the early 90s, but it was about $5,000 to $7,000. I mean, now it's much more.
And they let 5-year-olds sell cars back then?
That's cute, yes.
So $5,000 to $7,000. That's a significant amount. So
it's totally different now. I mean, because you got volume dealers who go, we make $300.
Okay. Well, let's say it's $5,000, right? Then you can do the math.
Yeah.
Like, how many cars do I need to sell? So
for me, that's what I'm saying. The dealer gets the $5,000 profit, and I get a percentage of what he's made.
Yes.
Yeah, very small one.
But I'm talking like you are the business owner,
right,
so you would be the dealer.
I see what you're saying. As opposed to real estate, where I could turn 50, 60, 80, 100 grand or whatever on a property, depending on what I put into it.
Yeah, so if you really want to make $1 million a year, sell more expensive services or deal with more expensive products that have higher profit margins, then you can sell less. Or, and I don't have experience in this, but just scale it up.
Yeah.
Like Dollar Tree, obviously they make millions by selling items for $1 that they probably buy for 10 cents or whatever. They get leftover stuff. Some of the stuff there is worth way more than $1.
Right.
We love that store. We love the Dollar Tree.
Yeah. They go above $1 and below, but there's enough being sold that.
But their quantity, their volume, they're selling billions of items, whatever, and so.
Yeah. Well, it's like Walmart. Their margins are narrow, very, very, very thin. And in fact, they lose a lot on a lot of their stuff, but it gets people into the store where they'll buy other things that have higher margins.
So the only way that you can reach that goal of making $1 million in a year is you just do the math. I got to sell expensive things or a lot of things.
Yeah.
If you're going to go door to door selling things, it's going to be a lot of doors you're knocking on if they're low price.
Here's the real question then, and it's not on the list, but it's related to this. Is it possible for someone to make $1 million a year availing themselves of your services, your strategy? And I'm going to make this even harder on you to answer. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about your threshold customers that already come in making 7 figures. Is it possible, have you seen it? Could someone within a year's time come up with something, a product that they market through YouTube, but also through AdSense because their videos are so wildly successful? Is 7 figures possible in a year?
No, because what you're saying is my strategy going to help them build a successful business? And YouTube is not a solution for somebody
to build a business, right?
Yeah.
No, it's to market what you already have.
Yeah, there's 3 phases or 3 areas of a business. You've got lead generation, you've got sales and conversion, and then you've got fulfillment, and you've got to work on all those 3 things. And what YouTube is it's a portion, or it's a really good source of lead generation. But you've got to really build up that whole business. And so if you were to invest all your time and energy into building a YouTube channel, you're probably not putting all that energy into actually building a successful business.
But let's play devil's advocate for just a second. Chris Crone, okay, he's obviously made a lot of money through the years doing what he does, the real estate things. If he started January 1st, 2022 from scratch and was able to come up with his successful...
Like a new product, no.
I mean, just whatever he's teaching now about real estate. It wouldn't take too long to develop a message around that would get people excited. And whether he's using YouTube to get his own leads, or if it's just something that's get rich quick, influential, something or other. I mean, in theory, as much as people love what he's selling, couldn't he do it in a year? I mean,
Somebody like the Chris Kroner, the Noel Randall, and now myself, we could do it. I could start something brand new from scratch and do it.
Because if you could sell $1 worth of a $1 thing for 1 million people, but what if you were selling 10 things for $100,000 each within a year time using YouTube videos, the Leaf strategy?
Oh, yeah.
You should be able to sell 10 of those. What do you think?
I could, Noel could, you could, Chris could, but could a brand new business owner who's never made 6 figures before do it? I don't think so, because they don't have the confidence to be able to sell a 6-figure package. They've never done it before. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So they've got to cross the 6-figure threshold first. I just think it's going to take them a little bit longer. I don't think they'll do it in their first year.
No one's going to go
Maybe
from
3
0
years.
to 1 million.
We'll say 3 years.
I like the way you shoot me down. Okay.
Well, giving people $1 million a year income in 3 years is pretty.
That is pretty doggone
good.
good. Yeah, I agree.
There were times where I paid my team late,
How do YouTubers make money?
and at the same time,
Which seems like a nice thing to do.
it seems
Yes.
like the honorable thing to
Right.
do. It's an interesting thing. I
Yeah.
never really understood it until I did it.